Hello, welcome here or welcome back. My name is Michaela. I'm a wife, a mom, and a knitter from British Columbia, Canada, and this is Galanthus Knits. Hello, happy April. Today is April 7th, and I just wanted to sit down and do a quick little update on all the things that I've been working on lately. I don't have a ton of time, so I'm just gonna kind of try to get through this as quickly as possible. I'm having a hard time finding time these days to sit down and chat and edit and all sorts of everything that kind of goes along with the YouTube channel. So bear with me for this quick little update. I am wearing my finished alpine paca sweater, which I talked about in my last episode. So it was a finished object for my last episode, but I'm wearing it again today because I've been living in it a ton lately. And then I'm also wearing a knitted scrunchie at the back of my head. So yeah, just a scrap yarn project that I did a while back that I also wear quite often. So those are my knits that I'm wearing today. And I only have a few very small finished objects to talk to you about today. And the first two are quick baby knits. I knitted up two little bonnets. I think they're called the Beloved Bonnet by Tin Can Knits. And I actually got the inspiration for this one from the Birds Are Back Cal. So someone who's doing the knit along with us knitted this for her son, and I saw the pattern and I thought it was really, really cute. So I decided to make one for my friend's son and then one for my daughter for kind of like a spring Easter type thing. So the blue one is for my friend's son, which I took some pictures of my daughter wearing it to model it, and then the yellow one was for my daughter, and she's been wearing it a little bit because it has been quite chilly. Today we're sitting at about 9 degrees, 10 degrees maybe, and super rainy, so it's definitely still kind of like hat weather for babies and kids, especially if they're, not running around but like in the stroller or in the carrier or whatever. So yeah, she has been getting a lot of really good use out of it. And I really liked the pattern. It's knitted in a sort of fun way where it's not knitted like front to back or back to front, but like from side to side. So you do increases and short rows as you go up, and then you do short rows and decreases as you come back down. And it actually starts with the I-cord ties. So yeah, if that makes sense, you start at the tie, you go up, you do the increases, go to the top, you go down, do the increases, and then do the other tie. And I really liked that construction because it was seamless. You didn't have to pick up stitches anywhere. You didn't have to break the yarn and start again. It was completely like if you're just working from the same skein the whole time, you have just the front, the beginning, and the end ends to weave in, basically. That's it. So it's a really nice kid and baby pattern. I knitted both of them in sort of scrap leftovers from my Stella quilt cushion, so I had quite a bit of yarn left over from that, which I'll talk about later. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say about that. It's a good pattern. The only other finished object that I have is that I knitted a bow for my friend's birthday. Her birthday was last week, and so I just wanted to make something really quick for her to enjoy. And she's the type of person that wears like hair ribbons and bows and things like that with her buns and her ponytails. So I knitted a bow and I attached a clip at the back of it, and that was her birthday present. It took me 2.5 days worth of knitting, like evening knitting, The pattern that I used, I will write it on the screen because I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I wouldn't recommend the pattern, unfortunately. It was a paid-for pattern, and it had a lot of mistakes in it. I had to rip back and modify based on what I think it should be quite a lot. Yeah, so I've been thinking about sending the the pattern designer a message to say that there are mistakes in it, but I feel bad being that person. But it, in the end, unfortunately, it definitely wasn't worth the money that I spent buying the pattern. So yeah, it's a lovely, lovely bow. Like, it's really beautiful, but I don't think the pattern was tech edited, or just a lot of things got missed. I'm not exactly sure, but things got missed and there's a lot of mistakes in that pattern. Anyway, it turned out beautiful in the end, but that was because I was able to figure it out and modify it to look like it was supposed to look like in the pattern pictures, if that makes sense. So anyway, those are my two quick finished objects, and then I have a few whips to talk about. So first, I will show you the progress on the Porcelain Sweater Junior that I am making for my daughter. I have made progress on it since my last knitting update, and yeah, I'm quite pleased. So as you can see, I finished the bottom of it. I did the purple at the very bottom, and then I did the ribbing, and I bound off in an Italian bind off. Yeah, I used an Italian bind off. So it takes a while, but it's a nice bind off. And then I started on the sleeve, and the yellow is a very kind of low contrast to the white, but that's kind of what I was hoping for because I wanted a more like banana yellow. I didn't want all the colors to be kind of in your face. So I am so far liking how it looks. And the yarn I'm using is actually one that I picked up. I was originally going to use some yarn from Stash, but I started knitting it up in a yellow that I already have, and the gauge wasn't right. Like, the yarn was a higher weight than what it's supposed to be. And then I ripped back, and then I did it in a different yellow that I have, but the yellow was a little bit too mustardy, and it was too much for me. I wanted more banana. So I went to a yarn shop in the town next to mine and picked up this, what is this? Sheepish? Metropolis Premium Blend, and it's a sock yarn. So it does have a nylon in it. It is 75% extra fine merino wool and 25% nylon. But I figured because I'm only using a small amount of this, and I will have to do something with the rest of the yarn that I don't end up using because they didn't have any mini skeins there, then I should buy a sock yarn, because this will be really good for maybe one of the Moomin Colorwork socks from the Moomin sock book that I have. So yeah, this is a good thing to have in my stash for future Moomin socks. So yeah, it is working up nicely. I like the addition of the yellow. After the yellow, there's one more colorwork motif on the end of the sleeve, and that's going to be in this green. So I didn't want the greens and the green and the blue to be too close together, so I decided to do the yellow at the top of the sleeve and then the green at the bottom. So it'll look something like this. Sorry, that's pretty awkward, but does that make sense? Yeah. I'm looking forward to this being finished, and she's definitely not going to fit into it this year. Not that there's that much time left over in cold weather season, although you never know with Canada, but she will fit into it next year, which is really exciting. I think it will be quite oversized for her even next winter and spring, but the year after that it will fit her. So I think we'll get some good use out of this sweater, which is really lovely. So that's the update on the porcelain sweater. Next, I'm going to talk to you about the Stella quilt cushion. And I actually finished the front of the cushion. I haven't done the back yet. That's a later me problem. But yeah, look at I'm so pleased. I think it's really lovely. I was very unsure about kind of switching it up for the tops, like having the blue on the bottom and the purple on the top. And then these are two different greens. But I actually really like the way that it turned out. I think it looks like organized, but also kind of random. And I've sent pictures of it to my friend Lene, who it's for, and she loves it. So I'm really excited to give it to her for her wedding present in June when I go to her wedding. And yeah, I need to finish the back of it, but there's a few other things on the needles that I want to get done first before I just do straight kind of garter. But also, actually in the pattern she recommends blocking it first before you do the back, and I want to get some color catchers to block this with because I'm quite nervous about the bleed, because all of the colors are hand dyed. So I mean, you could have bleeding even if it's not hand dyed, but I just want to be completely sure that it is good, and I don't have any color catcher right now, so I need to get some. So that's why I haven't started on the back, because I need to block it first. Yeah, but very pleased with the result. I've weaved in most of the ends, but not all in the back. Okay, that's my update on that. Next, I'm going to talk to you about the Sheepish mittens that I've been working on for the Birds Are Back knit along, and I have something kind of unfortunate to say about it. This is what it looks like. Oops. Yeah, if you see in the pattern pictures, I modified the cuff to be striped in ribbing, and instead of the kind of, I don't know, curly colorwork motif that she has in the pattern, and I like this a lot better. I think it's really beautiful. This is gorgeous. I'm absolutely in love with the way that it looks, but it's a little bit too small for me. So I am going to start over. But I think I'm going to just work on the second one, like start over on the second one, and then start knitting that up, and then end up ripping this back to start over this one, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? So that I can compare the two sizes. Because basically, I am knitting there's two sizes in the pattern, the women's small and the women's large. I am knitting the women's small because I didn't think my hands were quite large enough for the women's large size. But I am knitting this on, what is this? 2.5 millimeter needles, and the gauge is quite tight. So what I'm going to do is actually just start over on 3 millimeter needles. So go up a half a needle size or whatever, and still knit the women's small and see if that helps me. It does fit my hand, but there's no kind of wiggle room, and the cuff is a little bit shorter than what I would want it to be. So I'm hoping that going up needle size will help the gauge not be so tight and it to fit my hand better. I am disappointed because I have, first of all, put a lot of work into this, but also I kind of procrastinated this one for a while. So it sat without any work done on it for, I don't know, 3 weeks in March. And then by the time I picked it up again, I realized it was too small, and I kind of, yeah, I wasted a lot of time. But I'm still gonna knit it up. It's still lovely. I'm still looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. But yeah, I don't like doing color work on small circumferences with DPN or magic loop. It's too fidgety. And so I'm doing this on the 9-inch circulars, as you can see. And I didn't have any 3 millimeter 9-inch circulars until today. So this morning I went down to the local knit shop and I just quickly bought some. So I'm going to start on that really soon. But yeah, gorgeous. I love it. I'm so in love with how these are turning out, but too small. So I have to start over. Okay, we are powering through. I have one more whip, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about acquisitions because I did go to Fiber West a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whenever it was. Also, I feel like I'm speaking super quickly, but I'm just very aware of how much time I have. What time is it? Yeah, I don't have that much time. Okay, so this is a recent cast on, and if you've been following my channel for a while, then you'll know that I get stressed out about gift knitting, but I can't help but gift knit. And so it's kind of this like push and pull thing that happens in my mind where I get so excited about knitting something for somebody, but then I get stressed out about the time frame in which it has to be knitted and I don't know, just if they're going to like it or not. And I've had quite a few people that I've knitted for not like what I've knitted for them and then not made any good use out of them. But I can't help it. It's just, I honestly, I can't help it. So I got an invitation to my friend's son's first birthday party in 2 weeks. And it's the Easter weekend. And I couldn't help but knit him a sweater. I couldn't help it. I was just like, I could just go. I usually, for kids, one of my favorite things to gift them is books, and normally thrifted books. And so I'll go either to a thrift store or the secondhand bookshop downtown and pick up a couple of really nice children's books, like kind of more vintage or older style children's books. And so I do that a lot as well for kid gifts, but I just couldn't help it. I was like, he's only one. It's not going to take me that long to knit a sweater. It'll be super fast. So, yeah, so I'm doing that again. You can't stop me. I need to stop myself, but I can't. Anyway, this is it. So this is the Cross Sweater Junior, I believe, by PetiteKnit, and it's a drop shoulder design. It is knitted on, 4 millimeter needles. It's a DK weight, but I'm knitting it out of some stash yarn that I have that is more like Aran weight, so I'm knitting it on 4.5 millimeter needles, which is great because it's April. He won't need the sweater until like October, and it will be nice and baggy on him then, and yeah, he'll get good use out of it. I think it'll be a sweater that he can wear for a while. So this is all stash. This is, I want to say it's Drops Nepal. That may be incorrect. I think it's Drops Nepal. And then the yellow is as well. So these are colors that I bought to make some colorwork mittens back in 2021. And then I had a lot left of every color basically. And then this orange is a yarn from Porcelain that I bought when I was living in Chester, England. And I have a lot of it. So that's my main color, is this orange. And then I've got the white and the yellow, and then I've got another kind of darker orange that I think I'm going to use for the cuff. I'll show you a picture of my yarn collection of the colors that I'm going to be using. I sent this picture to the mom of the boy, and I said, is this your color palette? Like, would you like, is this nice? I want to knit your son a sweater, but is this okay? And she said she loved it. So yeah, I'm always a bit unsure about colors that I feel like are maybe a bit more controversial. Maybe I'm just thinking too hard into it, but I think most people like softer colors. Is that correct? Like blues and greens always go down for little boys. Pinks and whites always go down well for little girls, but something like yellow and orange, I wasn't really sure. It's kind of like, it feels like a 70s type vibe going on, so, which I really like. I like this color palette, but not everyone does. But she said she enjoyed it. So I started this 2 days ago, and this is how far I've come so far. So I am quite pleased. Today's a Monday, so I have, not this Saturday, but the next Saturday is the little boy's birthday, so I have about 12 days to, well, I have less than that because I have to block it. Yeah, so anyway, but I think I'll get it done. Yeah, I really like it. The gauge is still quite tight. Like the yarn could go for like a 5mm needle and it would be a little bit more comfortable, but whatever, it works. It's fine. Tight knits will be nice and warm for the winter. And yeah, I'm looking forward to giving it to him. All right, that is my last whip. That's the thing that I'm mostly working on right now so I can get it done. And then, yeah, I'll just quickly chat a little bit about Fiber West, which happened 3-ish weeks ago in Vancouver, in Langley, near Vancouver. And it was really lovely to go. I had never been before, and I didn't go for that long. I went on the Saturday, and I went for like an hour. And that was because my husband and daughter were with me. And my daughter doesn't have a lot of patience for stuff like that anymore, unfortunately. She did enjoy walking around and seeing everything, but she's also, you know, she's hands-on everything. So yeah, it wasn't super ideal. So yeah, so we stayed for like an hour. I met up with a few of you, which was really fun. I ran into someone I recognized from her YouTube channel, Jenny. Her name is Jenny. I'll put her handle here. I don't think she's posted in a while, but anyway, we connected on Instagram and YouTube, and that was the first time that I met her in person. And yeah, she was lovely. She was working on, she was sitting and knitting when I saw her. Yeah, and then I met up with 3 other women from the Birds Are Back Cal. So in the Cal, I had said that I was going to go, or on here as well, on my last video, I said that I was going to go to Fiber West, and then we talked about it in the Cal chat, and yeah, there was a few other people from the chat who were going to go, so I met up with some, and found out that one of them lives very, very close to me, like just a couple roads down, so maybe I'll meet up with her sometime for knitting. That would be really fun. And I didn't buy too many things while I was there. I bought not related to knitting, but there was a woman there who was selling children's clothes that she makes, and I was chatting with her for a while, and she was talking about her inspiration and her passion and her drive for what she does and making children's clothes. And she makes clothes for playing in and for getting messy in. Like they're lovely, lovely, lovely pieces, but she was talking about how she just wants to bring back that sort of like classic innocent look for children, and I just like what she was talking about. It's called Round the Garden children's clothing, I think, children's wear. And yeah, I bought my daughter an apron from her. There was a lot of things there that I really wanted to get, but I thought the apron would get a lot of good use out of, because my daughter is now at an age where she is really interested in helping me in the kitchen, which is fun. So my husband is currently building her one of those tower stool things for kids, so she can help at the counter with me, which is great. So yeah, I bought an apron for her, and then I picked up 2 skeins of myrtle yarn. Yeah, so this is Myrtle Yarn's Natural Decay, 100% non-superwash merino wool, and Myrtle is one of my favorite Canadian dyers. They're based in Vancouver, and it says on the back here that the wool is spun exclusively for Myrtle Yarn in Ontario. So I don't know where the wool comes from. It's spun in Ontario, hand dyed in Vancouver. Yeah, it doesn't say where the sheep come from, but anyway, yeah, it's a Canadian brand, and they have lovely yarn. I have used, well, on the porcelain sweater, the blue, pink, and purple are all from Myrtle. So I used minis from them for that sweater. So I bought two skeins of this, and the colorway is mustard seed. And I'm gonna knit another sweater for my daughter. You can never knit enough sweaters for kids, and they grow out of them. I'm not gonna say super quickly. They don't. They can wear them for a long time. But she's gonna continue to grow, so I'm gonna continue to make her sweaters. And I haven't decided quite yet which pattern I'm gonna do, but I figured a DK is just a safe bet to go for. And she actually loved it. Like, I showed it to her and I said, Mommy's gonna make you a sweater. And she was holding it, and she held on to this yarn for a super long time, which was kind of scary because we went outside and she was like jumping in puddles but holding this yarn. And I was like, okay, Eloise, go around the puddle, or can Mommy have the yarn back? And she's like, no, Eloise holding yarn. So anyway, yeah, she's excited about this. I'm excited about this. Love the color. Love the yarn. Really soft. And then my last purchase from Fiber West was this hat. Which says, not tonight, I'm knitting. And I've been on the hunt for like a ball cap like this for hiking. And I just don't like most of them because they're either like really branded, or I feel like I look like a trucker in them, which is not my vibe. But this one being corduroy, and this is kind of like my perfect kind of color palette, and then having a reference towards knitting, I was like, the stars have aligned. This is perfect. And I've been getting a lot of good use out of it, actually, because we've gone on a lot of hikes recently, and I've just used it outside when I'm sitting and knitting during my daughter's nap. I like to sit outside on the deck while she naps. And yeah, I'm very, very pleased that I came across this. So knitting related, but not like yarn or crafting related. But yeah, those are all the things that I bought at Fiber West. I didn't go crazy. I could have, but I had a toddler with me, so I didn't. Okay, that's everything. This is a shorter episode for sure, but I just wanted to give a quick little April update and chat to you guys for a little bit while I had some time. So thank you so much for listening and coping with how quickly I was talking today. I feel like it was very fast, but yeah, I guess I'll find out when I go to edit whether I was actually speaking fast or it was just in my mind. But anyway, thank you so much for watching.